I have officially turned 25 and that still doesn't feel real to me, but I've been doing a ton of reflecting in the past few weeks. I feel like not enough people warn you how much can change in just a few years. At 18, I thought I had everything figured out, amazing friends, good grades, a growing YouTube channel, but it all came crashing down in just a few years, where I went through countless rejections, job rejections, friendship rejections, my first heartbreak, and just kind of the lowest of the lows mentally for me. That pain definitely shaped me to who I am today, and I wouldn't do anything to change any of that. But I wanted to compile a list of mistakes that I made, you know, before I hit 25, just so people don't repeat the same mistakes that I did. So during my last flight as a 24-year-old, I compiled a list of 25 things I wish I learned before I turned 25. Number 1, you are not running out of time. So much big decisions come to us like at a young age. Like we have to decide which college we go to, what major, and even like early career choices, right? Because of how much major decisions we make early in our lives, we feel like we have to have everything figured out, and time is running out if you're not a millionaire by your 30, right? But in reality, you are not running out of time. Even if you take out 1 hour each day, just focusing on a specific goal, put away your phone, just purely work towards that goal for an hour. And once you realize how much you can achieve in that 1 hour, you realize how much time you actually have in your life. You have countless of hours, countless of days, countless of weeks to work towards your goals and your dreams. You do not have to have everything figured out by the time you're 25, by the time you're 30, even 40s. As long as you're breathing and alive, you can work towards anything you want. Number 2, most people don't care. I feel like we all think that everyone is monitoring what we're doing each minute, each second of our lives, and if we like stumble over a presentation, it's the end of the world. When in reality, people are focused on themselves. Your partner that's presenting might be like focused on what they're going to say. The people in the crowd, they might not be even actively paying attention to what you're even presenting. And even if they care, people's minds are so forgetful. It's not the end of the world if you make a small mistake, do a small embarrassing thing. Life will go on, and people just don't care that much about you. Honestly, most people are focused on their own lives. Number 3, are you happy or just comfortable? This actually came from a friend that told me this while I was in a toxic relationship, and looking back, she was spot on. Like, I was comfortable. I feel like as humans, it's hard for us to learn how to change. And so whether this be stuck in a relationship, stuck at a job environment, a lot of the times we just fear change. We correlate that comfortability as happiness, when really that's not the same thing. And so really taking a step back and looking at it from like a third person's lens might really help you decipher if you're truly happy with what you're at, what you're doing, versus am I just comfortable? Am I just content enough to not make a change? Number 4, life rewards audacity, not perfection. So you can think about a project, a life goal, that video you're editing for months, years, waiting for everything to be perfect, when in reality, being audacious, being the first one to volunteer, being the first one to make that post of that idea that you have is what actually brings momentum into your life. I think so many of us are waiting to check certain check boxes, like making sure we're 100% perfect for a job, 100% perfect in the way we explain things in a video. In reality, it's just being audacious, being the one that is courageous enough to make that first step. Because if you never make that first step, then you're never gonna be rewarded for it. Which leads me to point number 5. This is the 1, 2, 3 rule that I like to call when I'm like trying to make a decision where I'm not too sure. Let's just say I'm trying out a new workout class and I'm second guessing myself if I want to go. I'm like scared, right? I'm scared to make a fool of myself. I'm scared to be like amongst people that have years of more experience than me or just more athletic than me. And so when I start like sensing seeds of doubt, I will literally just count 1, 2, 3 and just go. So I will just book it. Like I always struggled in school to raise my hand and ask the question. And so in the workplace now, I don't overthink things. I will just count 1, 2, 3 in my head and just say the thing out loud. And 9 times out of 10, I'm so much more satisfied than if I just kept my mouth shut. Number 6. Don't live your life for others. It's very hard for us not to keep in mind what our parents want, what our friends expect out of us. It's very hard for us, especially with parents, right? We want to give back to them. We want to fulfill what they imagine our lives to be. And while I do think they have very good intentions, at the end of the day, your life is your own. And if you're not happy doing what, let's just say, a career that you don't like, going down a standard path of education, if you feel like that's not where you feel like your life needs to go, then pivot. Like, this is your life. You have to learn to put yourself first and not put other people's opinions, other people's expectations on you. Because at the end of the day, you have to look out for yourself and your goals, your hopes, your dreams, and you only get this one life, so might as well take your shot. And I think later in life, you don't want to look back and be like, wow, I really just took the straight path that everyone expected me to have, versus maybe pursuing acting, pursuing being an artist, pursuing like trade school. Like, don't let other people's expectations of you hinder you from your life goal. Number 7, people pleasing is selfish and it hurts everyone involved. This might sound contradictory, but people pleasing just hurts all parties involved. Number 1, you, right? Your own self-autonomy. You are rejecting your own opinions, your own will, just to please other people, or what you think will please other people. But in reality, what you feel like you gave up is actually going to breed resentment against other people, because you are almost projecting what you think that they want, when in reality, by you just saying no, not going with what other people want, actually establishes boundaries, right? And you get to preserve your own sense of self. You're not breeding resentment against the other person, and the other person gets to know more of you. Like, they don't feel the pressure of you kind of going against your own boundaries just to please them. Like, you think they don't sense it, but they will. Number 8, you can't change a person. Please, 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 if you start feeling like a relationship, a friendship starts going south, and you feel like you're explaining all your feelings to them, they're doing the same thing, they're not respecting what you're communicating to them, then it's time to just cut it. Because people don't change unless they want to. Like, can't make a person change their perspective by explaining to them how you're feeling over and over again. It's just not possible. Like, it's something that they have to work on themselves, and you explaining to them how you're feeling doesn't really change anything. And so sometimes it's just better to cut things off. Just bring you a lot more peace than if you were to keep trying at this relationship that just does not work. Number 9, this is more for relationship, is a question that I want to ask you when you're feeling stuck. Do you love them, or do you love their potential? I especially think this is true for a first relationship. I feel like when we develop crushes, right, we are infatuated with a person. We imagine a perfect relationship, a perfect life together, but that's not real. If you are making excuses for someone's actions over and over again, you are imagining a potential of a perfect relationship, of a perfect situation, but you don't actually love that person. You love the idea of them. You love the potential of what it could be, of what you think they could be. And in that case, cut it off. Because again, you can't change a person. Number 10, actions always tell the truth. When someone promises you certain thing, oh, I was gonna do this for you, I was thinking about this, giving you XYZ, but they don't actually do it. I feel like our minds, especially for someone that we care about, automatically kind of goes through mental gymnastics. Our brain tries so hard to believe that they're telling the truth, but actions speak louder than words. Number 11, don't take hurtful things to heart. More common than not, most people are projecting their own insecurities onto you. So if you hear a rumor about you or hear a certain comment, they're just insecure about that thing themselves, or are secretly jealous of a certain aspect of your life. Because meaningless, like hurtful comments or hurtful gossip is more than likely that they're just projecting their own insecurities, or they're trying to dull the pain in their own lives and trying to nitpick something on a stranger or a friend. Number 12, closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't ask for something, if you don't communicate something, people aren't gonna know you want it. So if you want that promotion, you have to make it known. If you want to be leader of a certain club that you're in, you have to let it be known. You can't just assume that people can read your mind. If you want something badly enough, don't be afraid to stand up and ask for it. Number 13, change does not have to be big. In news, in media, we see, oh, okay, this person became a millionaire overnight. Oh, this person became a celebrity overnight. When in reality, that's kind of how we see it as a mass majority. But if you go dig deeper in these successful people's backgrounds, they have been working towards their craft for years and years. A lot of the hard work is the stuff that you don't see. I think success is almost like an exponential curve, where at the beginning you see minimal effort from a person, minimal talent, and then you want to say, oh, overnight they exponentially improved, but in reality it's that slow buildup of change over time. Number 14, your phone is stealing your life. The horrific stats is that if the average person has an 80-year lifespan, they spend around 11 to 12 years on their phone. And that's including, I think, everyone. And like people that grew up in the younger generation, we are statistically more on our phones than our predecessors. So it's something that I'm still working on, but I would start setting a limit on how much you can spend on social media sites and try to focus more on producing content, using your creativity, rather than just consuming it and mindlessly scrolling. Number 15, being bored is a necessity. And this kind of goes hand in hand with the phone. I think a lot of the times we're so scared of being bored, so we're scrolling on our phones and trying to distract ourselves from boredom. When in reality, that's how people get most of their ideas. That's how people, like, when they're in the shower with that phone, you run different scenarios through your head. You have different business ideas, you have different project ideas. That's when your creativity kind of runs wild. So next time you're bored, don't automatically see it as a bad thing. Don't try to like fill up that void with something else. I would use that time to literally just talk to yourself in your head or out loud. You never know what your creativity can create. Number 16, treat your time like nutrition. And what I mean by that is nutrition, you want to have a balanced diet where you want to have some healthy stuff, but if you have too much of one thing, you will not be feeling so good. I would honestly treat your time like that. While grinding and working towards your goal is very important, you want to take some time out for yourself. And if you're doing whatever, playing video games, scrolling on your phone, it's totally fine. It's like, that's the percentage that you should be spending to enjoy yourself, to take care of yourself and let your mind just kind of relax. But you don't want to do too much of one thing, just kind of like nutrition. Sunk fallacy cost will trap you. So if you don't know what sunk fallacy cost is, it's when you put too much resources, time or money in a personal sense. You are more bound to just stick with it, even if it's not a good investment. And in reality, you're probably putting more time and energy and resources into something that at the end of the day doesn't make you happy, and you might make a change anyways further down in the road, but you could have dropped that earlier in your journey. Number 18, trust your gut. I feel like sometimes we have to toss logic out the window. If you feel like internally, like something is making you sick, like your body is rejecting a certain decision, a certain relationship, then it's time to just drop it. It's time to listen to your body, to your gut, because sometimes our body realizes sooner than our brain can process what is wrong. Number 19, experiences over things. Like for me, I would rather save on material goods such as designer shoes, designer clothes, and instead save up that money for experiences like concerts, traveling abroad. I feel like the joy that you get from material goods is temporary, and it doesn't really bring a new perspective of life. But experiences, that's what actually lengthen your perception of time. When you experience new things, when you travel, like, and do things that you haven't done before, that's what your brain attaches onto and makes your life feel longer and more fulfilling. Number 20, your experience matters more than your resume. I think in school, we're taught to kind of perfect our resume, to perfect our grades. That's what we were taught growing up. But during my job search, that's when I realized in this day and age, it's kind of hard. Like the competition is getting harder and harder. A lot of companies are asking for real world experiences. And even though they say that, I think everyone nowadays has some sort of experience, but it really is your network. Like the people that you know will give you a leg up into the interviewing process, or can give you even more opportunities down the line. And that's not to say you should approach professionals in a transactional type of way. Like I think when you approach people with authenticity, the right people will come your way. Opportunities will automatically flow towards you. Number 21, education is never money not well spent. And I think right now there's a lot of propaganda against education and how it's not as useful as it was before. I don't think that's true. I don't think spending money to let your knowledge grow towards the field that you're interested in is ever anything wrong. I think when you have a genuine passion towards things, opportunities do open up for you. And even though competition is getting harder because more people are going to college, more people are getting advanced education, but that's just how the times are growing. And I think it's a good thing that more people are getting more educated. This is how we grow as a society. This is how we improve our knowledge, our social impact, and education is never a waste. Number 22, the goal will not fix your life. As humans, I think we're always after the next shiny new object, the next shiny new goal. For example, I thought me moving to a big city and getting a full-time job was gonna make me tremendously happy. But in reality, it was me gaining the skills of talking to strangers, learning how to make an elevator pitch to people that I did not know. That's what kind of pushed me and really fulfilled a certain satisfaction, not me personally getting that job. And so I think we should put less emphasis on reaching certain goals and expecting that goal to make us happy. Instead, it should be focused more on the process of things, going through hardships and learning to be happy throughout those things, because I think once we achieve a goal, you're shortly going to find yourself trying to go after another goal. I promise you, you will never feel fulfilled if you're always just trying to achieve a new high, a new goal. And instead, you should kind of slow down and really appreciate the process. Number 23, overnight success is never overnight. I think oftentimes we see successful people building whether it's blowing up overnight on YouTube, on TikTok, becoming a multimillionaire, building a $1 billion business. We attribute that as an overnight success because that's the first time that we're hearing about it or the masses are hearing about it. But in reality, we're not seeing everything behind the scenes. That business owner might have spent years in 9 to 5 building their skills, becoming a project manager, working in marketing, to then build their own company that, boom, it looks like it was built overnight into a successful business. But in reality, it takes years of hard work, years of skill building, years of just not giving up that really pushes someone over that plateau, right? Number 24, do it for your future self. I think we put so much emphasis on what our younger selves would think of us right now, Would they be proud of where we are? Would they be proud of who we have become? And while I think that is important, we are evolving throughout our life. So what we know in our past is not what we know today. And I'd like to think that we are getting wiser every single day. Looking back to see what your past like 5-year-old, 10-year-old self would think is maybe not the best way to go about things, but rather to think about the future you. When you're 70, when you're 80 years old, will you look back and be proud of the decisions that you made today? Did you take care of yourself? Did you make the most out of your life? Did you make an effort? That's what we should really be focusing on, because we can't change the past. We can't change how our past selves would think about us, but we can change what our future selves will see. Number 25, risk beats regret. And to really tie things off, I think oftentimes we let fear dictate our lives and dictate our decisions. We find that risk can be scarier to us, right? If we're comfortable with the life that we're living, we are scared to take that risk, scared to ask for that promotion, scared to move on and out of our hometown, away from the friends that you've been growing up with. But when you take the riskier route, when you go out of your comfort zone and ask for that promotion, ask that person out, there's no guarantee that things will go your way, but you will be happier knowing that you tried, knowing that you put in that effort, than regretting not making that decision, not making that leap of faith. Because even if it was a mistake, so what? You get up, you learn from it, you gained a lesson. But when you are stuck in comfort, stuck in this loop of not taking risks, you will end up regretting your entire life. And yeah, that's the 25 things that I learned and I wish I learned before I turned 25. And if you want to see similar lifestyle videos, advice videos, please make sure to subscribe, give a like, give any suggestions below on any ideas, any topics you want me to talk about in the future. Bye guys.